Hello everyone, Barb here from barbaderholt.closetomyheart.com. We are nearing the end of another 2-month catalog. Let me see if I can find it here. Yep, this one. This one goes from July through August. And then we are also nearing the end of our 2020-2021 core catalog. And what does this mean? Well, of course it means pretty new stuff coming, but it also means that I have some things that I need to use up to make room for the new goodies. So what I thought I would do is make a little bag. Isn't that fun? I think that's so fun. I am going to use some paper, and I also pulled in Smiles from the Garden stamp and thin cuts. It's got some neat butterflies on it, some really nice sentiments, and some flowers. I also brought in the scalloped circle die. I think this one is going to be retiring, or it will be available online only. This is a little clamp from my stash. This was actually the zip strip. The zip strip is a little piece of extra pattern paper. On the one side it gives information about the paper, and on the other side there's a little bit of bonus design, so I thought I would use those. I already stamped my little butterfly, so let's get started. You need a piece of paper, and I have a little cheat sheet here. The piece of paper is 6 by 9. We're going to do some scoring. I have my Simply Scored scoring tool that I bought from Stampin' Up! Eons ago. It's what I have, it's what I'm using. And we're going to do a little scoring. So on the 9-inch side, so the 9 inches is across the top, I've got it all butted up into the corner. We need to score at 1 3/4, and I'm using paper, so you don't have to score real heavy. If you go heavy-handed with it, you can tear your paper, so be mindful of that. So 1 3/4, 4 1/4. I'm just doing 2 little light passes. Then we are at 6 inches and 8 1/2, just like that. Then I'm going to rotate the paper, and I'm going to put the 6-inch side up at the top, and we need to score at 1 3/4 down at the bottom. Okay, I have all my scoring done. I'm going to move this out of the way. And we need a little pair of scissors, and I have my bone folder. Then I'm going to start folding and moving that paper. It's kind of hard to see the lines, but once I have gotten them folded, you'll be able to see what it looks like. So I'm going to use my bone folder to encourage those folds. One more. Okay, so I've got it all folded. It's probably easier to see the folds on the lighter side. We have this little 1/2-inch strip here, and what we need to do is we need to remove this bottom little rectangle. So you cut along the score line up to the cross score line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wedge into this other rectangle, and I'm going to take a little wedge out at the top. You'll see why in a second. Then we need to cut up these other score lines only as far as that 1 3/4 inch score line that runs across horizontally. So you've got, I have one here. Yeah, don't forget one. So I've got 4 little flaps going on here. I am going to take my scissors, and I'm going to just wedge into the squares just a little bit, not crazy, just a little bit. And That's it. That's all the cutting we need to do. Get that out of the way. Now we need to put a little adhesive along this tab. This is how we hold our bag together. And I'm using glue. You can use tape runner. You can use whatever floats your boat. I'm going to fold this over like this and just fold this closed. Just like that. I find that's the easiest way to do this. It's laying down flat. I'm not trying to hold it up in the air. I fumble when I have that situation going on. And you can see by taking that wedge out, I don't have anything sticking out over the top here. That's why I do that. This is the back side. This is where that seam is. So I'm going to fold in my two side flaps, and I'm going to fold down the flap by the seam. This is the front flap, and I'm going to take a little glue, and I am going to glue that closed. I like to stand it up. I like to use my bone folder to make sure that I get some pressure. And then, whoopsie, whoopsie, I just pinch it together. And I'll take my little clamp, put it on there. We'll set that aside because now we have to make our little pretty decoration. I have some Bluebell cardstock here, and I'm going to use some Bluebell ink. And I have the phrase, "You brighten my day." So that's always a nice little sentiment. And I'm going to stamp straight down, straight up. That looks super. Close up my ink pad so disaster doesn't strike. I have these two little pieces of 1/2 inch by, I don't know, 2 inch, 1.5 inches. And I just did a little angle cut. And I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to glue them together to get the angle that I'm looking for. Because you can adjust it to how it looks good to you. And then I'm going to put a little glue on the top of that. And I'm going to just put it right there. And this is, of course, subject to what you want to do. Then I have the butterfly, and I'm going to fold up those wings a little bit. And I'm going to put glue right where the body of the butterfly is. And I did stamp this on some patterned paper. You can use plain paper, whatever you happen to have. Again, I'm kind of using up some things that are going to be going away. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I am going to take some, I have some 3D foam tape. I'm going to get a little chunk of it, and I'm going to put some on the back just to give this a little bit of some dimension. That's it. Get the backing off of there and get it slapped on the front of my little bag. Just like that. Okay, let's get the pin back in my glue so I don't end up with a big hard lump of glue. And that's it. That's what they look like. You can leave it popped up, or you can continue to push it in so it's more divoted. You can see the difference there. Either way works. It holds candy, holds Post-it notes, holds all sorts of little treasures. So I hope you'll give this a try. Get out those pieces of paper. 6x9 piece, that's all you need. And you can make these cute little bags. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a blessed, crafty day, and I'll see you next time.